Awesome. Thank you.
Yep, and you're all set. And everyone can unmute themselves if they so wish, Susan. So just so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, awesome. Even the participant, even
yeah,
the.
I mean, unless you want. I mean, I'll be on standby, but
they're usually good. I can always stop. I can always take that away from them.
There you go.
If they don't cooperate, but I'd rather have it that way. Thank you. All right. Okay, so welcome to the Shellfish Advisory Committee meeting, July 20th. Apologize. Oh, it is 7. I thought I was making you wait. We were making sure we had a quorum before starting, which we do. Prior to the meeting, let me first read the statement. The Shellfish Advisory Committee is committed to providing an environment of respect during meetings. We ask that all members to interact in a polite manner, even when there is disagreement. We value the participation of our community and want all participants, including marginalized and minoritized communities, to feel welcome and respected. We ask our committee members and all who participate to commit to these standards to support and respect our community. So thank you for joining. First off, we have approval of meeting minutes, which I sent earlier. And they're a little bit out of order because we missed the March 9th one by mistake last time and approved the 23rd and the 20th. So I would like to make a motion to approve the March 9th, May 11th, and June 29th meeting minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Paula, thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Mike, are you in favor?
Yeah, but I wasn't at the June 29th meeting.
Okay, so you're in favor of the 11th and the 9th, and we'll put the June 29th one on the agenda for next meeting so that we have a quorum approving it. Okay, thank you. Next up, we have an update on the commercial aquaculture. So as you know, based on our last meeting, we had a DMF preliminary site survey, and we received Friday, we received the a communication from them. Oh, Mike, did you want to say something? Oh, sorry. I thought. So on Friday, we received a communication from them letting us know about the survey that they did not find eelgrass where we surveyed. So I will read it, and then we can also post this information on our website after the meeting. So it says, good morning. I was able to review the still images from the preliminary eelgrass survey DMF performed on June 23rd, 2022 from approximately 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Low tide was at 1:47 p.m. The purpose of the survey was to assess the feasibility of the town of Scituate identifying 1 acre sub areas suitable to provide shellfish aquaculture, given that MADEP has mapped the eel area as eelgrass habitat based on aerial imagery. The survey did not serve to certify any sites for aquaculture. It was simply to assess whether there is enough area devoid of eelgrass and within 50 feet buffer from eelgrass to warrant the town pursuing aquaculture in the area. The map below shows the locations of 7 transects that were occupied. See below for transect coordinates relative to MADEP eelgrass map for the area and the town boundary between the towns of Scituate and Cohasset, yellow and orange line. Some representative images from the survey are superimposed on the map and additional images are attached. I was able to review the still images collected during the survey. While I was hoping for better quality imagery, the images were consistent with what we observed in real time via the live stream video camera. Additionally, a high level of water clarity during the low tide survey allowed broad observations from the bottom habitat from the boat. The substrate is mostly hard bottom, dominated by cobble and rock and diverse assemblages of macroalgae. We were not able to positively identify any eelgrass in the surveyed transects, and the hard bottom sediment characteristics observed have low suitability for promoting eelgrass expansion into the area. And then she actually gave us an article, Short et al. 2022, which basically talks about substrate for eelgrass growth. Based on these observations, DMF has determined that there is no compelling evidence to discourage the town from identifying 1 acre sites potentially suitable for private aquaculture within Scituate waters. Once sites are identified, the town select board must vote to approve licensing specific to site footprints to specific aquaculturists at a duly advertised public hearing pursuant to MGL Chapter 130, Section 60, hearing on issuance of license notice publication. Once the town officially votes to approve the sites at a public hearing, the town must request certification from DMF and forward us the proof of advertising and minutes of the meeting. Barring new knowledge that would disqualify the sites for private aquaculture, DMF would then perform a comprehensive survey of the individual sites that would include shellfish surveys, the official certification surveys would supersede any previous observations. If DMF surveys supports the conclusion that issuance of an aquaculture license site at that location would not cause substantial adverse impacts on existing resources and fisheries, then DMF would issue a certification letter authorizing the town to issue a municipal license. Please do not hesitate to reach out for additional guidance. So they sent us a map and then the transect numbers. Are there any questions thus far? Paula, Scott, Mike?
Sounds like good news.
I was there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really good news that we were able to locate suitable sites. So I guess should we pause to Scott? Scott, did you have questions? Are you okay? No.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Great. So what I did was, remember we were using that MA Shellfish viewer where we were doing the proposed sites. What I did, let me see, how do I, let me share. And then what I did was, here, let's see, are we sharing, are you guys seeing the screen? Okay,
Yes.
so if you all remember, the MA Shellfish viewer is what is used for mapping. And we had done a mean low water survey. And in the last meeting, we were trying to get the actual survey put into this MA Shellfish. So the red line, we worked with the people that did the survey, and they were able to get a data feed to input into this. And that is the official stamped mean low tide, the red. And then from there, the blue lines are the transects that DMF performed looking for eelgrass. So when we went through, there are 7. So there were 7 transects we did. See the first blue line, you know, one, you see some are shorter than others, but they gave us the point, the first point and the end point. So these were the lines. So all through this blue was, and then we were running aground over to the side. So there's no eelgrass over there. So that is basically the area that was surveyed by DMF to have does not have any eelgrass. So it's definitely, the footprint of eelgrass has definitely changed over the years. That's definitely something we learned from that. We're not sure why, but that's what's happening. So should I stop and see if there's any questions from the committee and or from the participants?
Susan, I would just note that you have the lat and longs of all these transects too that we'll put up on the website.
I do. Great point, Mike. I have the lat and longs for the transects, and what I did was take the lat longs and upload them to MA Shellfest Viewer. So there's a way to upload coordinates, and that's how we got these points and the lines. So thank you, Mike. We can, and we can post all of this as well. We can post the email, the pictures of non-existent eelgrass, and the substrate, as well as the these coordinates. Thanks. Any other questions? Anything from the public? I see a bunch of people online.
I had a quick question.
Yeah, sure. Craig, can you state your name and address?
Sure. Craig Rosenquist, 17 Acorn Street, Scituate. Any idea of the depths at low tide?
The depths at low tide. That's a really good question. Mike,
They stated that in the letter.
And the terrain with it. Go ahead, Mike.
A lot of that area will be high and dry at low tide. Towards the southern ends of the transects, it was like literally no water there. It was like maybe 18 inches at the highest tide when we were there. So there's not a lot of water there.
Okay, so where those blue lines are, it's like a foot.
It's a little deeper towards the channel. It's actually really deep towards the channel, but we're never going to be that far out. And I think that was the area of concern where people are navigating and anchoring up and things like that. But you're not even going to be near that because it's so deep that it'd be up to your waist to aquaculture. So it makes no sense to be that far towards the channel. We're going to be more towards the south. But you know, it doesn't look like much out there by a boat. The area is very, very massive.
And the bottom is a like cobble or gravel.
It's cobbly. It's some parts are sandy, some rocks here or there, but for the most part, it's hard packed sand with you know, the 1-2-inch, 3-inch rocks that are there with some algae on them, but never no eelgrass that we saw. And we were looking pretty hard. The water quality was very, very good. We were going nice and slow. Joined by another fellow from Bassin's Beach. He was out there watching us, so I'm sure he can attest to where we were. But I mean, these are the transects right from DMF off their GPS. So we were right where we knew we had to be, and here's the data.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a good question, Craig. The lines closest to the mean low, like the 1, 2, 3, yeah, that would be like waist high water. But if you go out, if you're going further out, like that first line to the second line, it'd be a bit deeper.
Okay.
Okay. Are there other questions? Here, let me take off share so I can see. And then I did one other, let's see. I did one other, here, I'm trying to pull up something else. These were the, sorry, I've got like one screen. I'm trying to navigate here. Let me share again. Let's see, this is what I want, I think. Okay, so here I'm sharing again. Again, the blue lines where we did the sampling, and then the purple, again, the mean low is the red. And then these purple lines, not to be confused with the magenta lines down below, that's property lines. That is, those were the sites, roughly the 5-acre and 5-acre sites that we were looking at. So does that, are there any questions on that?
No.
So the two purple areas are roughly 5 acres, and that's those, you know, while they come close to the previous eelgrass, it's not there is no eelgrass there. So the determination is that, there's 10 plus acres. So if that's 10 acres, there's plenty more too. But our original quest here was to figure out if there were 10 suitable acres. So there are 10 suitable acres to move forward. So also I can post this too. Oop, for some reason I came off video. Sorry about that. I must have pushed it. I must have pushed it when I was trying to share screen.
Right, Susan. So does that map have like a ledger of mean low water, the property lines? That way people know which lines are which, and maybe you can highlight the area. That way people won't get confused what line is which.
Yep.
Okay.
I can add something.
Right, because we'll need to add corner points, those 10 acres, because that's where the buoys would end up being to keep people out of there. So it's actually really, really well, I think. Makes them not perfectly straight lines, but something that we figured how it would line up so we can have the safety buoys on those corner points, and we'll add those lat.
Yep. So I guess we got to talk about next steps. We currently have 6 entities interested. So, I mean, next steps would be probably to reach out. I would think it would be to reach out to them, give them this information, and have them fill out that. I sent that to everybody this afternoon. The DMF application, so they've changed to kind of streamline their 2-page application. And then give them amount of time to respond, and then flip that over to the select board to have a public hearing. So to me, that seems like next steps. Does anyone have any questions or comments on process and how long we should give people to respond? I know it's 6 of them. It is the summer.
3 weeks, Susan, is adequate. And I know there were some minor changes to the application, so we'll probably fill out the updated application from DMF, so that way up to speed and current, which is not a showstopper by any means.
Yeah, oh, definitely, yep. Yeah, DMFs, we can have them, I can send them, it's a fillable form, it's a fillable PDF form. I can also post it on the website, but I can send it to them. So 2 weeks, did I hear 2 weeks?
I think 2 to 3 weeks is fair.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? I mean, they already have a application. I mean, they've already submitted an application, so I would think it's not that. Does anyone from the public that happens to be an applicant want to comment on the time frame? No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I guess
I think 3 weeks should be fine.
3 weeks. Okay.
And we know there are 6 right now. There's 6 businesses that are interested. That's what we have now.
That's correct. So we had originally sent out to the 9 applicants, and 6 responded that they were still interested.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I mean, I can't say that somebody might drop out still. I mean, there's always a chance. There have been a solid handful of them showing up at the meetings. I'd say maybe solid four applicants have been showing up. So, yeah. So up to 6.
Okay.
So
nice to see moving forward.
Yes, it is nice to see it's moving forward. Is there anything I'm missing, Mike?
Oh, I think we covered everything. I mean, if you roll into the recreational piece, but I think if there's no questions thus far, I think we're pretty good on this. It's definitely steps in the right direction. It's been a lot of effort by a lot of people, and it's a slow crawl, but we're getting there. I think the whole goal would be at this point is this summer is probably out, but really kicking this off for spring of 2023, I think is the end goal. And I think we're right on track to do that. It's been a little longer for some people, but I think that's kind of where we're leading towards.
Yep. I would agree. I would agree with that.
And I have a question. So any of the prior legal issues are not in question right now? Holding
No,
back?
so this is beyond the mean low tides, so
Gotcha. Yep. Yep.
not
Okay.
a component to any prior legal issues.
Understood.
Undisputed area.
Okay.
Mike, did you want to take the roll into the recreational update?
Yeah. So I know this is the probably more anticipated part of the meeting with the recreational shellfish for the North and South rivers. Water sampling has been going on. Water sampling has been going on in Cohasset as well, and all the MB areas from Marshfield to Cohasset and Scituate. I know Cohasset's also going to start sampling Cohasset as well, but I'll just focus on the rivers. As we were all been waiting for a long anticipated SMAS study from UMass Boston, funded by DMF with our local constituents and colleagues from our districts. I'm told that the report is imminent. It's coming out very, very soon. And I hope to have my hands on it by August 1st. And when we have that information, we will have a meeting as quick as we can, because I'm sure we're going to fill a room.
Yes.
Wonderful.
That's really all I have on that. I have nothing official. I have not been given anything official. So once we have it, we'll post it, and widest dissemination of a recreational shellfish meeting, and probably at the library, and hopefully we'll have DMF attend to talk about their findings. Maybe UMass talk about their findings, and then we'll see what our future of shellfish in the river is. I know the North and South River watershed has been doing extensive testing of the sewer plant as well in the affluent, and the results have been well under the state thresholds. So that's a good plus as well. And that's during the summer months, mind you. So I will say publicly that depending on what happens with these samples, and the testing, the modeling, if it all comes back in our favor, I am going to push for a September 1st opening of the rivers. So that's coming. So
Wait. Super.
Yes.
And it's going to happen. It's happened before, and I'm going to push. I think the water samples definitely support it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be asking for it.
Yep. I agree.
That's all I have on recreational. We did have a closure of all the MB areas from Marshall and Scituate because of the PSP toxin, but I think that has just been lifted recently. So it started off with blue mussels, then it was all shellfish. I know the state had one positive case of rebo for oysters. I'm not sure where it was. It went to the board, the state DPH, but I know that's oyster talk with icing of the oysters and things like that. It has nothing to do with the rivers, but that's just more of a public information, if you will. But that's how everything is.
Could I ask a question, too?
Sure.
So
Right.
is all the issues with the FDA and the federal government and that all that issues with the commercial versus the recreational, is that all gone away?
No, that's not going away. That hasn't changed. Model ordinance, Craig. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, but the outflow tests and everything may come back great, but there's still the issue with the issue is still with. Judy?
Have any results yet, Craig? I have nothing. So nothing's been resolved. We're waiting the results, the data from the study. That's what we're waiting for.
No, I understand that, but you're saying that it could open up in September, but there's still the issues with the federal government and the state having.
I said publicly 30 seconds ago, I said, if it comes back favorable for the rivers, I will push to open the river September 1st, hence November 1st. That's where I will do as a show. But I don't have the results. But if we come back and everything looks good or whatever happens, if we're able to shellfish, I'm going to push for the widest time frame that we can. But until I have the information, that's where we're at.
Okay.
And the issue, Craig, too, is really what the footprint's going to be, right?
You mean like the South River area will open up? And
yeah, I mean, what we know what was open before, but what will the modeling results indicate should be opened in the future?
Okay.
That's all I have, Susan.
Yeah. Exciting. We're on the cusp of a lot of very exciting things.
A long wait.
Long wait on all fronts, all fronts. Okay. I think if there's nothing else, we can have another quick meeting and I can push this stuff out, use the time to push this stuff out online and to the applicants.
Great.
Okay, so motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right, Paula second, and so did Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Everyone said aye at 7:25.